Good evening once again, everyone. We will now begin with questions for Landon Marceau. Please use the raise hand function to indicate you want to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Our first question comes from Glenn.
Hey, Landon, this is Glenn West here with LSU Country. Obviously after that first inning, it was just kind of, pretty much dominance from you the rest of the way. I mean, just talk about, how you were trying to come through there for the team while the bats were trying to get going, and just how, disappointing is that you guys just weren't able to, I guess, advance here in this tournament.
Yeah, well, I don't really know where to start. At first inning, things, I got knocked in the mouth, and gave up a 4 spot, and that's hard to come back from at any point in the game, especially the first inning. It's just a blow that really takes the breath out of you and it shocks you. And I take full responsibility for that. I wasn't commanding my pitches in that first inning, and I came out in the second inning and I was furious. The velocity jumped, and then I was really turned it on, and I was furious. I felt horrible, about that first inning, and if I could take it back, I would, but there's nothing we can do about it. And we're gonna move on from this, and that's really all that we can do now.
Our next question comes from David.
Landon, David from Rivals. I know you don't have control over this, but do you believe that this team has done enough to earn an at-large regional spot?
I don't know. That's like you said. It's not in for me to decide. Hopefully we get the bid, and if we do, we're gonna be ready to take advantage of it. But that's out of our hands. We've done everything we can. And that's, like I said, it's not in our hands.
Our next question comes from Wilson.
Hey, Landon. Wilson Alexander from The Advocate. Obviously, like you said, not in your hands here. How nerve-wracking, or what are sort of the next few days going to be like, just waiting for something that you have absolutely no control over at this point?
Yeah, man. The anxiety is going to be high, and just hope, and we hate to rely on that, but at this point, that's reality. We aren't hiding from anything, and we're not. We're going to be watching these games, and we're just going to see what happens. We're going to have to keep working, and just in case. And if we get a bid, we'll have to be ready to take advantage of it. So we're going to keep staying positive. We're going to keep moving forward.
Our next question comes from Michael.
Yeah, Landon, if you could, big echo here, sorry. Just kind of take me through the mindset of the team right now. I know you don't know, but, this wasn't a gotta-have-it game. So do you feel better about your situation, and how will you guys use this week moving forward?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about the how the bidding works, and if we've done enough. I don't know anything about that, but as a team, this one hurts. We obviously, this is, we've historically LSU has been really good in this tournament. To go down game one, it just hurts, because, you fight for an SEC tournament championship, and, that's a championship, and you want to win every championship you can, so obviously going down game one hurts, but, like I said earlier, we have to keep working hard, keep moving forward. Can't dwell on this one. This one's over. We can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about the first inning. That's reality at this point, and we just have to keep moving forward and be prepared if we get a bid, or when we get a bid. We don't know, but we're going to keep practicing, keep working hard, grinding it out, and we're going to be ready for an opportunity if it arises.
And we have one more question from Michael.
I'm sorry, I'm good. I forgot to lower my hand.
All right. Thank you so much, Landon, for joining us.
All right, thank you.
We are now joined by Dylan Cruz. Again, please use your raise hand function to indicate that you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Our first question comes from Glenn.
Hey Dylan, this is Glenn West here with LSU Country. Just offensively for you guys, just what was Georgia doing tonight or today to just kind of confuse y'all and just I mean how disappointing is it to kind of show up here and have to leave after one game?
Yeah, it's obviously very disappointing. You want to come in here and make a statement. I mean, I had all the confidence in the world with our guys, and we just came up short. But I mean, Georgia came up right after us. They were aggressive with their pitches, and we just couldn't string anything together and with runners in scoring position.
Our next question comes from Wilson.
Hey, Dylan, sorry, I hope you can hear me okay. What are the next few days going to be like for y'all? Not knowing if you've done enough, wondering if you've done enough. Just how do you describe what it's going to be like waiting to find out if you are going to actually continue your season or if this was just the last game you've played this year?
I mean, we just got to sit and wait right now. I mean, whatever happens, and we're going to be prepared for it at the end of the day. We're going to take this as a learning experience and just come out, whatever happens, come out and perform and do what we do best.
Our next question comes from Michael.
Hey, Dylan, it's Michael Cobble at WBRZ in Baton Rouge. Defensively, did the ballpark play like you thought it would? It seemed like there were a couple of tries that Gavin had that, it's a big ballpark. There's a lot of ground to cover there. Do you feel like that was anything out of the ordinary that maybe you guys didn't account for?
I mean, the ballpark, played the way we expected. I mean, we were prepared for it. We came out here and practice, had a good practice. I mean, those balls to Gavin, I mean, those were very tough balls to get to. He made very good effort on both of those balls. They just found a ground and they found a hole, and it is what it is at the end of the day. But we got to do better offensively and do better with runners in scoring position, and it's a whole new ball game after that.
Yeah, if I could follow up there, you're talking about the runners in scoring position. Is that a mindset thing where you just have to believe you're going to drive them in?
I mean, yeah, that's a factor into the equation, but yeah, I mean, you definitely got to believe and you have all the confidence in the world when you go up there. But yeah, I mean, just like I said, if whatever happens, and we're gonna be prepared for it for next time.
Our next question comes from Glenn.
Hey Dylan, yeah, just one more for me. That first inning. I mean, can you just talk about obviously Landon Marceau's phenomenal outing from the first inning on, and then also just how can you put into perspective how the magnitude of not being able to maybe turn that double play in the first inning was?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think the ball game would have been much different if we turned that double play. But I mean, Landon, we have all the confidence in Landon. I mean, he's been there when we need him every step of the way through this whole entire season. So, like I said, I mean, I feel like the ball game would have been completely different if we did things differently offensively. You can't change, can't help what happened defensively. So, but I mean, we're gonna come out and take this as a learning experience and be prepared for the next game or whatever happens.
We have one more question from Michael.
Hey, I know you keep saying you don't know what's going to happen, but how much do you follow it, and what is your belief about your postseason fate?
I don't follow it that much, really. I keep my head straight on things I need to worry about the most, and that's my game, and that's what my teammates and my boys. So I don't really focus on that. Whatever they tell us, wherever we have to go to, we're gonna do what we can to win and prepare for that event or the play on the ball field.
Thank you, Dylan, for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
We are now joined by head coach Paul Maneri. Please use the raise hand function to indicate you want to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Coach, before we take questions, if you would please give us your general thoughts on today's game.
Well, first of all, it's a tough loss for us, and I give a lot of credit to Georgia, especially their pitching. They ran 3 really good left-handers out there against us today, and obviously we couldn't do much with them. We had an opportunity in the first inning there, bases loaded, nobody out. We were only able to get one run out of it, and that really was kind of the story of the game. We had a couple opportunities later in the ball game and couldn't capitalize on those. I think a lot of that had to do with the quality of the pitching that they were throwing against us. I was really proud of Landon Marceau. Unfortunately, it's happened, too many times this year. He's just pitched his heart out for us, and we haven't been able to give him the run support. And his record ought to be, really stellar. His one-loss record, I should say, because he's pitched like that all year for us. Just pitched so courageously and just with warrior mentality. Unfortunately, his record is kind of pedestrian because we just haven't given him the run support. Part of it is because he's gone up against other teams' great pitching, and the games have been low-scoring games. But I'm really proud of him and what he did, especially on short rest. No side work in between his last start and this start, and obviously he deserved better fate. But really the story of the game was, they turned a double play on us, and we couldn't complete our double play defensively. Otherwise, we might still be playing. The game really was a 1-1 ball game. We had the double play to end the inning, and unfortunately, we just couldn't complete it. And they ended up hitting the bases loaded double after we didn't complete the double play, and then we just couldn't muster a comeback. We tried, but just couldn't finish the rally. So we have to take it and accept it. It's new territory for us, to be honest with you. We've never lost on Tuesday here in Hoover, and quite frankly, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to plan to do for the next several days, and gonna have to put a lot of thought into how to react to this because it's uncharted waters for us.
Our first question comes from David.
Coach David from Rivals, do you believe your team has done enough to earn an at-large bid into the 2021 NCAA Tournament?
Well, I don't have a vote, but I hope so. If you're asking me, do I think we're one of the best 64 teams in the country, I certainly feel that way. And we're tied for 8th place in the SEC. We lost this game, obviously. I hope the whole selection doesn't come down to how you did in one game against an opponent. The selection committee has a tough job to do. I know that. I think our RPI speaks for itself. We've played, arguably, the toughest or one of the top 2 or 3 toughest schedules in the country. We've done a lot of good things, and I would hope that we get invited, to the big dance, but I don't get a vote, so we're just going to be at the mercy of the selection committee, and we'll hope so. I believe we did, but like I said, I don't know. It's not a good position to be in, I can tell you that. I've been in this position before, and it's not a lot of fun to be at the mercy of a selection committee.
Our next question comes from Glenn.
Hey, Coach. Glenn West from LSU Country here. I know you just mentioned that, you guys are kind of entering uncharted waters here over the next couple of days. I mean, do you anticipate that you guys will continue to practice and continue to just, I guess, get yourselves ready for whatever happens early next week?
Well, I'm sure we'll practice, Glenn. I don't know what the schedule is. I haven't had enough time to kind of digest it and think about it and come up with a plan of action. But, I've got plenty of time to figure that out now, unfortunately. So, I haven't even talked to the team yet. I have to gather my thoughts and figure out what we're going to do. We'll head home tomorrow morning, I'm sure, and come up with a plan of action. I wish I could share something with you, but I really don't know what we're going to do yet.
Our next question comes from Michael.
Coach Michael Cobble, how much did you wrestle with trying to move the runners over early?
Which situation are you talking about, Michael?
I believe it was the second inning. I think you had the bottom of your order up, no outs, chance to move some guys early.
I don't recall which inning you're talking about, to be honest with you. We were down 4-1. Second inning.
Too early to try the.
When we had Cranford try to bunt a couple of times. Yeah, we were trying to. He fouled off 2 bunts. Is that the inning you're talking about? When?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, we did. We were trying to advance, and we were down 4-1, but I wanted to advance the runners, and Cranford, I had him bunt twice, and he fouled the bunts off both times. And then, I thought it was too early to have him bunt with 2 strikes, so we had him swing away, and then he struck out. And then I tried to start the runners on the 3-2 pitch. Is that the inning I started the runners with the 3-2 pitch? And Milazzo swung it at strike 3, swung a pitch that was high, and he swung through it, and they threw the runner out at third base. Yeah, so we did. We were trying to advance them. We just didn't execute, unfortunately.
Our next question comes from Doug.
Yeah. Hey, Paul. Doug Mouton at WWL TV in New Orleans. I'm seeing the updated RPI has you at 24. Have you seen a situation where a top 25 team doesn't get a bid? I mean, is that really possible?
Doug, I don't know. I haven't. I don't remember. We didn't get a bid in 2011, and I know our RPI was pretty high. I don't remember exactly what it was. I believe it was in the 20s, but I don't remember exactly what it was, to be honest with you. And I haven't followed what other teams would have not received a bid that would have been in the 20s through the years. We haven't been in that position very frequently, quite frankly. So I haven't followed it that closely, but we're gonna, have optimism and hope for the best, and hope we get a chance, and have a clean slate. And if we do, we're going to be very positive and confident that we can do it. And we're just going to have to wait and see. It's not an enviable position to be in, but we're just going to have to wait and see.
Our next question comes from Ed.
Paul, how much weight do you think the selection committee puts on conference tournaments, and do you think there should be that much weight on what you do on a few days instead of maybe a body of work of an entire season?
Well, I think if you do well, it should weigh heavily, because if you here and you're beating a lot of good teams and you win 3 or 4 games, sure, they should count it. But when it's a single elimination, one game and done, I don't know that it should be held against you just for one game. I think the body of work over the year is probably more important. 56 games. Our out-of-conference record was really good. I think our RPI for non-conference was in the 20s as well, and then we're in the #1 RPI conference in the country, and granted we didn't finish 500 in the conference. If we had turned 2 games around, we would have been 15-15. We lost a lot of close games, 7 one-run games that we had our chances to be a 500 team or better. But I just don't know how they look at it. It's not a very transparent process, so I don't know really what they say, what they look at that closely. I know years ago I used to try to figure it out when I was a younger coach, and I know reading in the manual they used to talk about how a team finishes, and if that was a factor, then we finished strong. We won our last 3 series, we won 4 of our last 5. We turned it around and finished with a flourish, and that should weigh heavily. But I don't know if that is in reality what they believe to be the case, and because like I said, the conversations are not made public, and you have no idea what different people think and what they're saying and how they vote, so you're just at their mercy.
We have a question from Kevin.
Hey, Coach, Kevin Baptiste from WFB. Do you think it's a different outcome if you guys get that double play in the first inning and leave Georgia scoreless?
You know, a game is the result of a game is an accumulation of things that happen for 9 full innings, Kevin. That's why we play 27 outs, you know. So you're not going to point the finger at any one player, any player, or anything like that. But, you know, every little thing matters when you're playing against great teams. And, you know, like I said, in the first inning, you know, we had the bases loaded, nobody out. You'd like to get more than 1 run. We hit into a double play. You credit Georgia. They turned the double play, and we ended up only getting 1 run. In the bottom of the first inning, they had the bases loaded, and you know, they hit a ball. They had a run in, and they hit a ball that our third baseman made a nice stop on and fed the double play feed. And unfortunately, the throw to first base was not accurate, and we were not able to complete the double play. If we complete the double play, the inning's over, and we got a 1-1 game. Who would have predicted that there would not be any more scoring for the next 8 innings? I mean, you don't know, but every play is important. But, you know, you just can't say that, you know, 1 play costs you the ball game, because if we score enough runs, then you don't look back at 1 play and say, hey, this play cost you the ball game. The result of a game is an accumulation of everything that happened throughout the game. And you would never blame 1 play, 1 kid, one circumstance for anything. It's, you know, everything matters. So, you know, it's unfortunate that we didn't turn the double play, you know, because, you know, Landon Marceau, you know, pitched so well, and, you know, unfortunately that inning got extended. He left the changeup up, and the kid hit a double with the bases loaded, and those 3 runs ended up being the difference runs-wise in the final result.
Thank you, Coach Manieri, for joining us tonight.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
That concludes the LSU press conference. A full transcript will be provided by ASAP Sports. You can also find the audio and video recordings of this press conference in the SEC Media Portal. Thank you for joining us.